So I got to ask you off the top here. You were recently named captain. What was that moment like for you? I saw it on social media.
Yeah, it was sweet. Obviously, kind of knew it was coming. Talked about it at the end of the season last year with the staff here and like the boys. So that was cool. But to officially get named and stuff is huge honor. And yeah, it's I'm very happy about it.
Pretty sweet, man. It's like not a lot of 19-year-olds can say, they cracked the lineup in the show. And especially in the way that you did it, where you come out of training camp, there's tons of jostling for position, there's depth charts galore, and you just step in and just say, I don't care about any of that. You outperform everybody and you're in yourself a spot on the opening night roster. What was it like to play in the show?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was yeah, obviously like you said, just maybe kind of having that like attitude of not caring about those depth charts and anything like that. Just kind of gave me a bit of juice to go in there and make a statement, and then obviously getting the trust and belief from the staff there that picks the team to get me in some games there at the start was dream come true, and so much fun, and hopefully can get back there at some point for sure.
What stood out to you as a difference? I mean, you're riding on jets, you're staying in the hotels, you're doing the whole show thing, man. What stood out to you, in all honesty, as something that just blew your mind as I'm in the show right now?
I mean, the hockey's just hockey. Once you get out there, it's obviously super high level, but probably the most drastic changes were the off ice stuff with like how ridiculously you get treated. Especially with the Leafs there. They don't take any shortcuts on hospitality for the boys with food or rooms or travel, like you said. So that stuff was all pretty insane to me. It's like I think I said it at some point, like it feels like you get treated too good up there.
Hey, it's the National League for a reason, my man. Mintz, I got to ask
Yeah.
you, like, so everybody in this market's trying to figure out like how it happened, what happened. Like, you're training in the off season. Like, was anything different? Obviously, you're on the radar. You had a monster year last year. We got a lot of prospects writers over at the leafsnation.com that have been documenting your work and your projection and the way you've been moving. But like, was there anything that clicked in the off season or the feel that you had going into training camp that suggested like, hey, I'm feeling it. I'm doing great.
I mean, I think personally, I've kind of felt that every off season recently. I only really started training like diligently for hockey when I was 14, 15, and in the summers, 15-year-old summer was the first summer I really worked out like for hockey or anything. Before that, I would just be a normal kid, play regular sports and stuff. So I think I had a bit of a late timeline because of that, maybe a little bit. So these past few summers in Vancouver, I had a few great summers there with a trainer named Ryan Kerr, helped me out a lot. And then these past couple summers since I got drafted by the Leafs, like I remember during the interview process with them, they're saying like if we draft you, we've got training here all summer with some of the best resources around, like food and everything taken care of too. So would you want to come into that? And that just sounded like the dream for me. Just get everything taken care of, and you just get to work hard with the best coaches in the summer. So the past 2 years, I've really embraced that and tried to spend as much time as I can out east there. And it obviously sucks a bit being away from friends and family in the summer, but the training's unbelievable, and I've found like I've made huge strides and like my development because of that with the staff here in the summer. So that probably gave me a bit of confidence. Felt good about my game. Felt like I improved coming into to camp right away there.
Yeah, you turned into a fucking stud. Let's just call a spade here for his daddy. Hey, what's the biggest change? I know it's a huge jump from the WHL and for many junior rankings to the NHL. Hockey-wise on the ice, what did you think the biggest difference that you noticed was making that step to the NHL and now going back to the dub, looking back on it, what you noticed was the biggest difference in that league?
I think probably like the pace. I mean, maybe in another league or something, like a physicality is obviously big too. Big difference there, but like Western Canadian junior hockey is pretty physical as far as junior hockey goes. So I was used to that a little bit, but obviously everyone's way stronger and stuff. But probably just the pace of play with like the speed. Everything's so fast. You hear when you're a kid, like your minor hockey coaches say, Crosby only touches the puck for 10 seconds in a game or whatever on his stick. Like, don't be smart about what you're doing off the puck and stuff. But it's like so true. You hardly touch the puck. I remember coming back to the intermission. I usually retape my stick all the time. I'm looking at it like I don't need to retape this. I barely touch the puck out there, and it's so true. You have to be so aware of what you're doing every time you get some time and space, and your play off the puck is so huge and so important, just positionally and making sure you're in good spots to move around and not get beat by everyone who's also just fast, strong, and smart.
So Rosie and I are a unique blend because he played in the NHL, and I've been a media member for like 12 years. I've covered the Leafs for a long period of time. Your first dose of Toronto from the media standpoint, like what was that experience like as a young kid coming in? It's not junior anymore, is it?
No, it's a lot different. I think like right after the draft, they usher you backstage kind of thing, and you get thrown on a podium, and you're right into the gauntlet just like that.
Yeah.
We had we have a really good media guy here in Kamloops who talks to us at training camps about how to handle media and stuff. His name's John Keane, does a great job of that. So had a few pointers from him, obviously, which I think helped, but it's still lights, camera, action with 20 guys and microphones trying to get a headline right away. So it's definitely it's different. Not something you can say you know how to deal with, I think, until you get some reps in it for sure.
Frage, when you got back to your team, got back to Kamloops, I mean, I know what it's like, say midget when a guy sticks around with a dub team for a while and, cracks the roster, but ends up getting, some reps back in midget, and he comes back and he's got his dub team bag and the half visor and the this and that. And it's kind of like, ooh, when you come back to the Blazers and you're coming back down from the show at your age, what are the boys saying? Are they pretty proud of you? What are they asking? What kind of stories are getting thrown around the room?
Yeah, that's funny. Feels like yesterday that I was one of those, 15-year-olds where guys are coming back from the dub and you think it's so sick. And yeah, so it's no, you're right. Like you walk in there with you got your NHL stuff. Some guys are like throwing on your helmet, like thinking, oh, this is sick. No ear guards. Like this is sick. You got that going and stuff like that. But everyone's obviously just really happy for you. And, obviously the guys here are excited to get me back and just get, we were struggling here for a bit in Kamloops and don't have the best record right now. So just asking, how was it, all that stuff, and excited to get back on the ice and go win some games.
So Fraser, that moment where they tell you you're going to make your NHL debut, I'd love for you to relive it. Like what went through your mind, the phone calls you made, that just your childhood dream finally being accomplished.
Yeah, it was unbelievable feeling. There's probably a couple times where I've really felt that, good about myself or like happy with achieving something, and probably like the draft, and then like honestly, and so up there for a top moment in my life for sure, hearing that I earned it there, and called my good buddies from junior teams and Bantam midget teams I played with there right away, and mom and dad after that knew there would be a little longer of a phone call. Tried my brother, I don't think he answered, but just telling them all was awesome too, to hear their excitement. They've seen it all firsthand and know how much I care about it and stuff like that. So to share it, obviously not in person, but just talk to them was amazing and felt super rewarding personally.
Okay, Mints, the big question for me ever since I found out we were going to be interviewing you, and we talked about this on Leafs Morning Take when it went down, your debut, was there any conversation about you going no Bucky for warmups, a la what Connor Bedard did, and somebody's like, you know what, I'll pick up the tab on that fine for you, buddy?
Yeah, I think that would have been a no-brainer for sure, but the Leafs are very strict about that.
Okay.
Even like Reeves hasn't worn a helmet for warmups his whole career, right? And he gets here and he's forced to wear a helmet for warmups. Like even he's like,
no way,
full on team rule. So after I heard him, he was talking about that at lunch during training camp one of the days, and after I heard him say that, I was like, there's no shot I'm even gonna bring this up. So yeah,
Kind of tough for
unfortunately
you to
missed.
shed your bucket when Revo's forced to wear
Yeah,
his, eh?
exactly. I didn't even bring that up. So the flow was on lock for those laps there.
Shit, one day, buddy, one day.
Yeah.
Hey, now that you're down, you're back. You're the captain of your team, Kamloops Blazers. You got a season ahead of you, I'm sure. Lots on the docket, lots of goals and lots of aspirations. But as far as you personally, put the hammer down, gain nothing but confidence, get that swagger, work on your game. Is that the plan going into next year? I imagine that, with the strides you took this year in training camp, you're ready to rock and roll next year and make the most about this season in junior. Huge building year for you. Build it up. And what's the plan going into next year? I know it's tough to look forward for an athlete to get too far ahead of yourself, but what's the plan for this season?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you said, hammer down and get better at everything. I think for me, like the sky's the limit as a player. I think, I've got lucky with the having a big frame just naturally, and I can move out there. That's obviously something you need, and then think the game pretty good. That's good baseline anyone would want to have trying to become a pro. And then I think from there it's just working on the other stuff, like, working on your physicality, your skills, your versatility as a player, everything that's going to allow you to, make the jump one day and then be effective once you can get in and stick, hopefully. So this is a great opportunity this season to get a ton of reps. You practice a lot longer here, like practice are twice as long, twice as hard, and you're playing a ton of minutes. So it's great opportunity to, as you said, hammer down and continue to get better.
Be honest, have you thought about playing for Team Canada in like a month or two here?
Yeah, totally. It's, goal of mine since I was 16 and in the dub probably. When I started, jotting down, looking ahead, thinking, 2024 Sweden, love to be a part of that. So, um, obviously feel like I did a good job at start of year getting my name in the mix by sticking around in the NHL for a bit there, and now just gotta have a solid month and a bit here, and hopefully get an opportunity to attend the camp, do what I can there, and hopefully it takes care of itself.
Let's talk about an American teammate of yours, Matthew Nyes. I think Rosie was going to go here anyways, but you guys developed some serious chem, and we had him on a couple times last year in the spring. Absolute stud, stallion of a human being, as you know, great flow. He's just feeling great about life, looking good in the show right now. What was it like to play with him? I mean, like you guys developed chemistry really, really quickly there.
Yeah, you bet. He's a great dude, and obviously doing really well right now. Happy for him. But yeah, I think I saw centering him first right off the bat there in Traverse, and I was pumped about that. Obviously, see his highlights all over social media last year, just ripping up college, and he's a beast, huge human being, and can move out there powerfully on the ice. And we had a couple good plays like in the first period of our first game there, and just kind of kept rolling from there throughout Traverse, and then playing together in preseason as well. Some reps on the penalty kill together. We were doing really good, just kind of reading off each other. And there's not many guys who are under 25 kind of hanging around the Leafs organization at that point starting the year there. So we ended up, spending a lot of time chatting together, just being close in age group, and got along well. So happy to see he's ripping it up there, and hopefully see him again sometime in the summer or at camp again next year.
What were you able to pick up from Austin Matthews? You know what? I was laughing the other day. Henrik Lundqvist put out a new like cologne or something like that. And I always wondered, like, if Austin Matthews put out a cologne, what would it smell like? Like absolute stud success. Like the guy's swagger is off the charts. And you probably know this better because you were around him on a daily basis. Like, what'd you pick from him?
Yeah, super cool dude, obviously. Really nice guy though. Just, he's obviously got that swag with the cameras on and everything, and he's obviously got a presence to himself, lots of confidence there. Um, you know, for sure, like justified with how good he is, what he does out there. But he's also just a great human being, just nice guy. Like took me and Nizio out for lunch one day, and just like chills with the guys and talks to you like you're a normal guy, and treats everyone very nice. So super cool dude, and obviously nice to see the human side of him, and get to spend some time with him was super sick.
Phenomenal to hear. Well, we'll end on this one. Friend of the podcast, Joseph Wool, actually texted this to me. He got a pair of cowboy boots recently that he insisted he was going to wear down in Nashville. I'm assuming you got those cowboy boots. He wanted to know if you've actually wore those cowboy boots yet.
He's gonna give it to me, but I've not worn them because yeah, we were doing a group costume there, and there were like they went for the super cheap boots just to fill out the costume. I saw these like brown nice leather boots. I thought, like, I might actually wear these again. So I went away from the group outfit there and got them, and they were a little pissed. So he'll be happy to hear I haven't worn them, but they'll get worn eventually.
Is that a case of you spending a little bit of your show dough going? I imagine you had a couple paychecks in the big league. Hey, was that a little shock to the system or what?
Yeah, those are unbelievable. And yeah, I feel like you can go from the $50 boots to the $80 boots without a scratch when you get some of those paychecks. So
hey,
you get double meat on your sub at Subway. Hey, it's
extra chicken at Chipotle.
Oh man, unreal. Splurge a bit, buddy. Really, really appreciate you taking the time for us. Best of luck moving forward here with Kamloops. Also the World Junior Camp coming up, and we hope to see you in training camp and hopefully once again back on the show. Okay.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you guys, and pleasure anytime.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.